We're gonna make a little afternoon omelet today. It's gonna have a little bit of dried chorizo, bell pepper, melted cheddar cheese. I'm gonna show you how to make it right now. We're gonna check it out. Get your non-stick skillet here. Add in a couple little bits of butter. Just give it a good swirl. You can kind of see how it's bubbling, but it's not browning. That's a good sign right there. While that's going, we're just gonna add our bell peppers in there. And we're gonna add the chorizo. Just let that kind of hang out in that melted butter for a minute. You can hear it, it's not too hot, but it's cooking really gently. And just let those kind of do their thing. There's a lot of salt in the chorizo as well, so you don't need to salt or pepper any of this right now. It's all gonna be perfectly seasoned together. While that's going, we're gonna come over here and crack some eggs that we need for the omelet. So we're using brown eggs today. The thing about brown eggs is the shells tend to crack more than white eggs do. So just look for that. You can actually see in here there's a little fragment of shell. If you actually use the other shell, you could scoop it right out. It's a really good little trick. Obviously make sure your hands are clean. We're gonna add some milk into these 3 eggs. We're only using 3 regular size eggs. Maybe they're large. And just a little bit of milk. This is just gonna help stretch it out a little bit. It's gonna make it kind of fluff up, if you will, when you cook it. So just give that a good whack with the fork here. You know, if you're making more, maybe use a whisk in a bigger bowl, but just enough to incorporate. You're really just busting up the yolks right now. So let's go back to the pan. Coming along really nicely. Handle's getting a little hot. Make sure you have a towel at the ready. A little toss. And now what I like to do is kind of make the middle a little bit more dense because it takes the eggs longer to cook in the middle. So if I fill up the middle with more of the ingredients of the omelet, it's going to cook faster and more evenly. So I always start and just kind of spiral my way out a little bit with those eggs. That's nice. So the eggs weren't seasoned or anything like that. I'm just gonna do a couple twists of white pepper, just a little bit. And just a pinch of salt, just to give those eggs a little bit of seasoning. So I'm just gonna turn the heat up a little bit. The pan got a little cool once those cold eggs and milk got on there. But you'll start to see it forming into that perfect omelet shape, and you can see that it's actually taking its shape really well. There's not a lot left to cook. Give it another little twist there. Once it starts to puff up right there, that's a good sign that the bottom is going to be cooked really nice and even. So we're going to transfer it right from this area, and we're going to pop it under a broiler. Believe it or not, we have our broiler set on high, and we're just going to let those eggs sit right there. While that's going, we can just get our garnish ready to go. So we've got a little bit of, this is just a leaf of romaine that we were fortunate to find in the COVID-19 crisis. So we're just going to roll it up, give it a really nice fine chiffonade, little ribbons of it. We'll use that for later. Under here, we've got the omelet coming back. You can see how it's almost cooked all the way. We're gonna add our melted cheese here, not melted, our shredded cheddar cheese here. Ooh, God, that smells so good. I'll put that right back there and just let it melt. It's gonna take a moment, so don't worry about it. In the meantime, have a little drink. I don't know what you've been doing out there, but cheers. Nice, refreshing. Oh wow, you can see how nice it's actually just completely melted. There's no brown to it at all. Just gonna bring it over to our board, and it just pours right out. From here we just kind of cut into a nice wedge. It's lovely. Right onto the dish. And I think that's nice, just a little salad with it. Let's give it a try. It's gonna be hot, so I'm ready. Oh, cheese.